Hello guys, Alex Fedotoff here. So this video is slightly different from my other videos on my YouTube channel. This is not like very tactical, but this is more like a mindset, and this is just the observation of me working with hundreds of entrepreneurs, right? And specifically successful e-commerce entrepreneurs that we work within our program, E-commerce Scaling Secrets, where we help them to scale their businesses. You know, some of them already doing let's say 50, 100, 300, $500,000 per month, and we're helping them to scale to 500, 1 million per month. And on a monthly basis, our students collectively generate like 10, 15 million dollars in sales. And so observing a lot of these entrepreneurs, a lot of these successful entrepreneurs, right, just gives me a lot of insights on kind of like what are the traits of those people, right? What are the principles that make them successful in the first place? Because we can give exactly the same resources to several people, right? And you've seen this in everywhere, right? Like even in universities, all of the students get access to exactly the same resources, right? But what they do with those resources, right, is what either makes them successful or it doesn't, right? So what I've noticed with our students, with our clients, is that there are four main principles that make them successful. And the first principle is that they're action oriented. So for example, I had a conversation with one of our clients who he's a young guy, he's in his 20s, and probably I'll interview him on my YouTube channel, but he basically last year he generated more than $1 million in profit with his e-commerce business, and he's done it with quite small team. He keeps things very lean, and one of the things I've noticed about him is that he's extremely action oriented, right? So for example, we have a conversation, he's asking me, okay Alex, how to do this, how to do this, how to do this, right? So he lays out all of these questions in one, which is kind of very efficient. And then I give him, okay, so for this, do this, for this, reach out to this person, I introduce him directly, for this, do this. And so then, a few hours later, a few days later, he just sent me an update. Okay, so this was done, this was done, this was done, this was done. So basically, a lot of people, they would get an insight and then they would just, they feel good about it in the moment, but then, they just keep it as it is, right? And just store it somewhere in their head, but they don't actually apply it, right? So what differentiates successful people from not very successful people, or from people that are getting stuck at a certain level, is that they actually take action, right? So oftentimes you would see this in different seminars. There's type of people that they learn something on the seminar and they're so eager to just put those insights into action. They would just stay and stand up and leave just to get that stuff implemented directly as quickly as possible. So action oriented, because as humans we tend to overthink stuff, and especially our brain tries to protect us from getting ourselves into danger. So actually you have something, you just want to test it, right? You don't want to store all these ideas. I remember when I was just starting with my business, I was I was basically just information junkie. I would just consume so much information from different sources, and then at the end of the day, I wouldn't implement any of that, and I wasn't getting any progress, right? It's only after I started to make imperfect action, okay, it was lousy, it was done half-ass at the beginning, right? Because you didn't know what you didn't know, and you're just getting something done. But that imperfect action, what eventually has led to the first breakthrough, to the second breakthrough, to the third breakthrough, and that's what makes successful people successful, right? And especially even successful people that are, let's say, already 6-7 figure entrepreneurs, what makes them into 8-figure entrepreneurs, right? So that is kind of the observation that I've have, and I see both types of people. I see people who are getting stuck at a certain level. I see people who are absolutely destroying it and growing, and that's what makes one of the principles that makes them successful. They're action oriented. The second thing is that they have the realization and they understand that they don't know everything. There's certain type of people that you try to explain something to them, right? Or even they would ask you for advice, but then they would try okay, but I tried that. It doesn't work, it doesn't work. And so those type of people is very difficult to work with. Those type of people very difficult to communicate with, because it seems like they know everything. So if they know everything, how the fuck their business or their life is at the point where it is, right? So it could be understandable if their business, like if they would be fucking billionaires, and okay, then maybe they know everything. But what you'll find about billionaires, that they know some of their shit, right? But then they also realize that they don't know. That's why they attract smart people into their companies. They attract people who already have experience within certain like industry, or have specific knowledge or expertise that they attract. So they attract this like top talent to bring all of the knowledge, right, that about certain industry, certain niche. That's how Amazon, for example, how they basically get into certain industries, right? They get into the industries where they have no idea what's going on, and they still crush it within those industries. They've done it with cloud, they've done it with like, they just buy businesses, they buy different like niche stores, that they absolutely destroy within those. So this is basically also the trait of successful entrepreneurs. Number 3 is they have the power base, right? So what's important, if you're an entrepreneur, you're facing a lot of like struggles, a lot of failure, like you're facing a lot of shit on a daily basis. And what happens is that if you don't have the power base, what I mean by power base is like few people, it might be like few people, or could be your network, could be your community, could be the environment that basically like kind of like it inspires you, and also like where you can like, for example, you had something that didn't work out for you and obviously you're frustrated, but then that is a network that you can share this stuff. Okay, so this shit is like, fuck, this is hard, man. Like, I tried this and like fucking doesn't work. And if you don't have that network, then pretty much you're all by yourself, and it is difficult to do it all by yourself. Some people have it, have these like strong bonds with their families, right? Some people have, okay, so they can come to their parents and say, fuck, how do I do this? And parents will give them like the right advice. Okay, so it's, life is not easy, okay, but if you continue pushing, if you try this, then it will work out, right? So they give them the right advice. Unfortunately, I didn't have that from my parents, from business sense. They love me, but it's not, they couldn't give me the business advice. So I was looking for, for mentors. I was looking for that environment for myself in a business sense. But I have tremendous relationship with my wife. So my wife supports me. And if you have a great wife or a girlfriend that supports you, whatever you do, and even if it doesn't work, they give you this support. If you have the community, if you have the environment, that's why we have, for example, within our program, we have tremendous communities for our students, for our clients to connect with. So they connect with each other, they help each other out. So if someone has a specific challenge, the other person might have been through that already, right? So they share the resource, they share the framework, they share how they did it, how they overcame that particular situation in their own life, right? So that just like shortcuts the whole like learning curve, right? And gives them the inspiration and the desire to move forward. Also, when you are in an environment with people that are more successful than you, and you see, fuck, let's say you're doing 7 figures and you think you're doing well, but then there's like this fucking person that does like multiple 8 figures, and he's like younger than you, and he's like already more successful than you, and he's just operating how much higher level, then what the fuck, you see a lot of opportunities. So this power base, this environment, it's like no one is self-made. I believe that no one is self-made. I mean, some people have done more stuff from their side than others, but there's always on some stage, there's like people who believe in you. There are people who you work with who can support you with something, and give you that kind of like in some critical moments, they give you that push, that inspiration, that advice, some validation that you just continue pushing. So having that power base is hyper important. Then number 4 is successful people, they stick to what works, right? So for example, there are a lot of people that, how do I do like Snapchat ads? How do I do like TikTok ads? How do I do like Pinterest ads, right? Without having like dialed in like even one channel, right? Even one thing in their business. And they just like, let's say they do $50,000 like, or $100,000 or $150,000, $200,000 per month with Facebook. And then, let me just like do like Pinterest, let me just like, and then neglect it. With Facebook, for example, they could scale to like $500,000 per month and then do Pinterest. So successful people, they stick to what works. They just like, if you will find like in any industry, the company that has achieved like tremendous results is the company typically who just like do the same stuff all over again, right? They do it again and again and again and again. So for example, with Amazon, they just like, for like 20 years now, they kept introducing new products, new vendors, right? So they've been doing this. They've been doing the infrastructure, right? Infrastructure, new logistics centers, the planes, all of the like delivery infrastructure that they have in place. So they haven't been changing their business model, fundamentally for like 20-30 years. And that's what happens with successful businesses. The same goes with, let's say you have a business that already does like $2 million a year, and then a lot of people would think like, how do maybe like I should do like another business in a different niche. Like the best solution, if you have a business that does like $3-5 million a year, probably the best solution would be to grow that business to $10 million a year. It probably would be the best fucking thing that you can do, because you already have the base of customers, you already have the validation that you're selling a good product. And so you just need to identify what are the bottlenecks. Okay, what would prevent us from scaling? So maybe it's like more creatives on the ad side, maybe it's like more ad accounts, maybe it's something else that would prevent. Maybe we need another like media buyer to add to our team. Maybe we need to expand our team. Maybe we need to provide better customer support, so then we can handle more volume and basically expand profitably. So, but basically sticking to what works. I know one business owner that had a business doing like $800,000 per month, very profitable, and then he decided to, okay, fuck it, here at his website was converting okay, but then he learned somewhere from some like person on YouTube or on the internet that, oh, you need to do this for like to optimize the conversion on your website. And he just like suddenly decides to like drop his whole business and to his website, like fuck, website, like let's build another website, like redesign, like get the whole team together and switches the website, the team, like everything looks like a lot better now from the perspective of his perspective, but then it doesn't convert as much. And business goes from like $700,000-$800,000 per month to like $200,000 per month, the same fucking business that was working very well. So if you have something that works, you probably like most of the times you just need to do more of that, right? It's like when you maxed out, and that probably like, it's probably there is a lot still to go to achieve that point where it's like you are maxed out at your full capacity doing something that you're already doing. So these are the things that I wish I knew. I also fucked up a lot of things that shouldn't have been touched. Something works and then like suddenly you decide like, yeah, let's change the strategy, because a lot of the times, and that's very, very important to hear that, because you might hear this now, that like sticking to what works, and it's easy to sticking to what works when everything goes smoothly. But if someone goes like for a day or two or like few weeks, there's certain things that are not going as well, then you're thinking maybe there is something with my process, maybe something with how I did things that didn't work as well. And typical, especially for entrepreneur, right, that is action oriented, which was the number one thing that I shared with you guys. It's like, yeah, action oriented, let's fucking change it. Let's just, replace everything, let's do this. Whereas like you should just fucking leave it as it is, and just do all other things on the side that you want to do, because change is expensive, right? Change is expensive, and it might cost you a lot long term. So you can see like sometimes you have to be action oriented with some stuff, but then sometimes you just have to like stop and so there is a sweet spot between these. And I'm not the perfect kind of like example of it, because I've done both of these. Sometimes I didn't take action on something I should have taken action on, and sometimes I didn't stick to what worked and I took action like where it should have been taken. So, we learn and we go and we get better over time. And I hope this video was valuable. Just gives you like more perspective on what works for successful people and people that want to become even more successful. So if you're a successful entrepreneur, and specifically like if you're in the e-commerce space and you want to be in an environment, you want to have like a strong power base, then you should check out. So we have the free community for people that are already doing over $1,000 a day in sales, like 6-7 figure entrepreneurs who want to get to like 8 figures. So we have the free community on Facebook for that. And if you're looking for more personalized help having that power base, we have exclusive communities for people that are doing 6, 7, 8 figures. Then you should check out the link in the comments as well. And we might be might be able to help you out, to take your business to the next level in the right community, with the right resources, with the right feedback. Because myself, I spend like $150,000 per year on training, on education, on mentorship, on coaching, health, wellness, mindset, business, obviously, and that makes tremendous impact on our business growth like this, and I'm very grateful for that. But yeah, if you're looking to be in that community, then check out the links in the description, and hope we can serve you on some level. Thank you for watching, guys. This video was not like regular video that you would see on my channel, but let me know what you think in the comments. Maybe I'm totally fucking wrong, I don't know, but these are the things I observed, and it's just like not just my opinion, but what worked for our clients that are doing like 7 figures, 8 figures, and are doing very well. So these have been my observation, and I hope this was valuable to you guys. Like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.